B&B 2020. Are you ready?
Quite a wait here, of course, but the pit bike vets are in the waiting zone and they'll be out on track in just a few moments. Let's have a look at how they qualified this morning. James Mostica was on pole with 43.965, almost a second ahead of Julian Gromit in second place. Dervin Allain qualifying third from Sean Betton, fifth for Gav Tappenden, sixth for Robin Kyle. Seventh place was Ben Douglas from Stu Bateson, Mark Jarrett ninth, Tony Reveley rounding out the top 10. And the next row made up of Ross McCartney and Mark Hedling in 12th. 13th for William Horner from Stan Gill, Mick Price, Al Morris, Richard Rice and Andy Williams. Those three riders not setting a time, so they will line up at the back of the field. Pit bike vets, of course, always a competitive race class. A lot of riders coming to this veterans class from the world of road racing or supermoto as well. And really do enjoy it. Usually get some pretty good entries in here as well, and this is for riders aged 40 and above. It's pretty much more of an age class rather than a spec class really. It's any standard supermoto or mini GP style pit bike. For the purposes of mini bikes, that's a seat height of 84 centimeters, and as we said earlier, a lot of this is very close regulations as to what can or can't be done with the engine and modifying the bikes, with an aim, of course, to make the class as competitive as possible. If you want to find out more about British mini bikes, pop to the Rich Energy British Mini Bike page on Facebook, or the website is britishminibikes.com. Quite easy to get involved in this series as well. We hope, of course, later in the year, depends, of course, on how regulations go with the pandemic. Hopefully we'll be allowed to have spectators in person here at the track at the series, but we'll have to keep an eye on the news with that one really, with the British mini bikes, as to when spectators will be allowed to come back. Thanks, of course, to anybody who would normally have come along to this event for heeding the advice and staying at home to watch the live stream. Thank you for your cooperation. It certainly helps to get this event underway. Vets are on the line. I think we're ready to go. There's one rider. Hand goes up there at the back of the field, just lost the engine on the start line here, so there will be a short delay before this race gets underway. And of course it is so hot down there. Well, most of these bikes are 4-strokes, and they can sometimes be difficult to start when they get hot. Want to get that almost like top dead center, really, you might say, to get the engine back underway. It is hot down there on the track. The track temperature is very high, so as we say, sometimes when you lose the engine, it can be difficult to get it underway. I think that rider has got the bike started. Not what you want on the line there, really, because it's about to get underway. The green flag drops, and away we go. Good clean start again into the first corner, and it's the 27 of James Mostica that leads them through. Another good start. It's quite an open chicane here, so although I'll get that jump into the first corner, touch wood, of course, we'd never like to curse anything, but there have been some good starts so far today. Into the top corner they go. It is quite a sweeping start to this race as well, so the riders get back into their positions. So it's Gav Tappenden up to second place. Dervin Allain and Julian Gromit battling away there. 837 Sean Betton in there as well. Ben Douglas, Robin Carl and Stu Bateson as the leaders make their way down towards the final corner. It is James Mostica that leads the way. Great first lap for him, and already starting to pull away from the rest of the field. It's Gav Tappenden up to second place, Gromit third, Allain fourth, Ben Douglas in fifth place, Sean Betton, Robin Kyle, Stu Betson, Mark Jarrett and Mark Hedling rounding out the top 10. Further back, Horner 11th place, William Horner on the 68, Tony Reveley, Ross McCartney, Mick Price and Stan Gill rounding out the field. Good pace at the front as Tappenden round the outside of Julian Gromit there, retakes that second position. Those two battling for position here now. And immediately Julian Gromit on the 75 trying to fight back. There's James Mostiger down the road into the final corner. He's pulling away all the time. But behind him, it's very close between second and about 10th place. They cross the line. James Mostiger, another fastest lap of the race. All the action over second place. There's the 13 of Gav Tappenden. About, looking at the timing charts here, about 3 seconds covering second down to 10th place. All very close indeed. All the action really for second place, though, as Julian Gromit tries again to go down the inside of Tappenden. Down the back straight they go. Oh, and down the inside goes Julian Gromit. Great little move there into second place. Now, it'll be interesting to see now if Julian Gromit was being held up there, because already he's pulled away in that second place. James Mostiger, the race leader, clearing away at first. Down the road he goes, and Tappenden. Well, let's see what Julian Gromit can do now. He's got a clear run as James Mostiger sets the fastest lap of the race. Oh, trouble here for 1:27. That's Stan Gill at the back of the field, though, so doesn't lose any places because he was at the back anyway. But Stan Gill cut adrift somewhat now and already been closed on by the leaders. Very fast-paced race so far. James Mostiger fastest lap with a 44.898 last time round. And here we see the 75 of Julian Gromit pulling away slightly from Gav Tappenden. Dervin Lane in there is 4th place. Ben Douglas, Sean Betton in 6th. And it's still Robin Kyle, Mark Jarrett, Stu Bateson and Mark Hedling rounding out the top 10. There we see the number 77. A little bit further down. We'll try and pick that rider up on the timing charts here, because it's certainly not the registered number. Possibly be 71, actually, beg your pardon. That is Ben Douglas, running well so far in 5th place into the top corner. Just behind at the moment is Sean Betton, we've seen shot there, and Robin Kyle. This is the battle for 5th place. It's starting to settle down a bit now. We had a very fast, frantic first couple of laps there. We see 189 Dervin Lane just in shot, being closed on now by Ben Douglas. At the moment, the 71 though of Douglas looking strong. You can see the front runners in front. There's Dervin Lane with the black and fluorescent yellow overalls there. Elaine currently 4th, Tappenden 3rd, Julian Gromit in 2nd. And actually Julian Gromit is starting to close up on the race leader as Dervin Lane goes through, still in 4th place, trying to close up on Gav Tappenden into the slower hairpins on the track. And this first part of the lap is quite slow and technical compared to the rest of the lap, as we see 27 Mostiger now starting to sweep through those long S's style left and right. Down the back straight he goes into the final hairpin, which is quite a sweeper actually, down into the start finish straight. Julian Gromit is closing up though. 7 laps to go, 6 laps to go of course, as Mostiger crosses the line. It was 3.9 seconds. Although actually Mostiger has pulled away slightly. There we see the machine of Stan Gill, who had hit trouble at the start of the race. Lapped now by Gav Tappenden and Dervin Lane as they battle of a third. And Elaine, just a bit further behind, is looking threatening as they go in towards that hairpin. Now towards the top of the track. And the 189 of Dervin Lane trying to get through past the 13 of Gav Tappenden. Elaine gets a good drive out to the back straight, but Tappenden has got the line. Heading through the S's section now, back towards the finish line. And 13, Gav Tappenden has lost now. Julian Gromit has gone down the road, really pulling away now as they battle with the race leader. Mostiger setting the fastest lap of the race, 44.720. The gap goes up to 5.6 seconds. And all the action now with Gav Tappenden, Dervin Lane, and a little bit further behind here, Ben Douglas, the rider we were looking at earlier, battling with Sean Betton, number 837. 199, Robin Kyle setting his fastest lap of the race with a 46.734. Mark Jarrett, Stu Bateson and Tony Reveley rounding up the top 10. As Dervin Lane has a look again down the inside of Tappenden, who guards that inside line into the S's section here. It goes right, left, right. Real sweeping section of corners here. And if you get the exit right, it may be possible to get a drive into this final hairpin, but Tappenden doing well here with 3 laps to go. Well, 4 laps to go at the moment, 3 next time round. Still Douglas and Betton just a bit further behind. actually Ben Douglas on the 71, is starting to close up on Dervan Lane. The rider in shot at the moment, and the lane trying to get past Gav Tafferdon, but can't find an opening at the moment. James Mostica leads the way by 6.8 seconds now. He's got to work well, and any kind of threat from Julian Gromit in second place has come to nothing at the moment. There's 71, Sean Betton just behind him. Ben Douglas at the 71, looking good in 5th place. And Douglas trying to close up on the lane at the moment. 3 laps to go. Douglas has a glance over the shoulder, can see Sean Betton there. There's the 199 of Robin Kyle, who's putting a good pace in towards the end of the race. As again, Dervan Lane trying to find a way through here past Gav Tafferdon, who has responded to the pressure actually. 46.378 last time round for Tafferdon. That's his best lap of the race. So he certainly knows that Dervan Lane is there, and he's going to have to put some work in here as he goes towards the top of the circuit now. Now, this part of the track is where Lane looks quick. He really does get a good drive out of that top corner, but it always comes to nothing here because Tafferdon covers that line into the S's section, this sweeping section of corners. Lane can't find a way through at the moment, but he is maintaining the gap from Ben Douglas and Sean Betton, the riders in 5th and 6th place. 2 laps to go. James Mostica still leads the way on the 27 by 6.8 seconds from Julian Gromit, who's pulled away from this battle of a third, which we're concentrating on at the moment. Dervan Lane, Gav Tafferdon battling for 3rd place a bit further down. We see Mark Jarrett and Sean Bateson there, but here we go again, and this is the part of the track we said last time around. This is where Dervan Lane appears to be a bit quicker. Gets a good drive out of the corner. There's Tafferdon glancing this way and that over the shoulder, but guards the inside line through those sweeping corners there. And Dervan, he looks faster there, though, Dervan Lane, but he can't find a way through. Tafferdon riding very well there, riding defensively, making that number 13 machine as wide as possible. James Mostica, meanwhile, has crossed the line onto the last lap. Julian Gromit still in second. The battle of a third pulling away a bit now. Gav Tafferdon and Dervan Lane. And the pressure goes up now as Lane really starts to put Gav Tafferdon under some pressure. This is the more technical part of the track now as we look at Mostica through those sweeping corners for the final time. Julian Gromit all on his own in second place. All the action still for 3rd place though, as Gav Tafferdon holds that inside line. And again, Lane looks quick out of the corner. But is it going to be enough? No, because there we go. Tafferdon again guarding that inside line. Lane can't find a way through. James Mostica, meanwhile, crossing the line and takes the checkered flag. Oh, and here we go into the final corner. Gromit will come through in 2nd place. There we go. So Julian Gromit in 2nd. Oh, but it's tight into the final corner. Dervan Lane, what a move there. Down the inside. And Lane taking 3rd place. He looks pleased with that one. And who can blame him, because Gav Tafferdon, who unfortunately for him loses out in 4th, lost it on the final corner. That was a brave move there from Dervan Lane. Almost ran out of track, but holds on to that position. We've got Ben Douglas and Sean. Oh, trouble here on the final lap. Somebody, now I don't know if this is the lap rider possibly. That's 68. Or that's the machine of William Horner, who we think is still in the race. This is just so these riders, the slightly delayed start of the pit bike bets. Let's have a look at the grid again as the riders fire up the engines and begin to make their way down to the waiting zone. This is from the morning qualifying session. James Mostica was the fastest qualifier on the number 27 with a 43.965, almost 1 second ahead of Julian Gromit. Dervan Lane qualified 3rd from Sean Betton. Gav Tafferdon, Robin Kyle in 6th position. 7th for Ben Douglas from Stu Bateson, Mark Jarrett and Tony Reveley. 10th position Ross McCartney and Mark Hedling in 12th. 13th position for William Horner from Stan Gill, Mick Price, the last rider to post a time with a 49.515. Further down the grid, Al Morris, Richard Rice, Andy Williams in 18th position, Adam Redding 19th and Paul Histon. None of those riders posting a time. They will start at the back of the grid. So after that delay, the 2nd race for the vets, sponsored by SYMoto, making their way round on the formation lap down to the grid. The Ovali machines coming up next for the youth riders. They'll be underway in a few minutes' time. But first, of course, we've got this vets class lining up on the grid. So track temps have gone down slightly. Whether that will make any difference out on the track to the riders, we shall wait and see. Fantastic afternoon, lovely weather here at Lydd for round number 2 of the championship, and this very well turned out Lydd circuit. Very fast venue as well, and certainly fast flowing. Overtaking is possible. We've seen quite a few well executed passes throughout the afternoon. We're on a fast flowing track like this. It's something you really do have to think about and maybe plan in advance, 3 or 4 corners in advance. I think the riders have pretty much lined up. We are ready to go. Green flag goes up, and Bet's race number 2 gets underway. Good start from James Mostica down the inside and holds on to the lead. They pile through the first chicane, everyone through safely up to the first of the tight hairpins, and still Mostica leading. The rest of the pack pile through. They all seem to get through safely, and James Mostica, 27, leads them round the top corner. The speeds pick up now through the sweeping corners. There's the number 13. Gav Tapperdon's run so well this afternoon. They pile their way through. There's the 22. I think that's actually Stan Gill at the back of the field on a borrowed machine. But the leaders charging through. James Mostica leads. Julian Gromit was in second, but Gav Tappenden, a great first lap for him. He gets through to second place. There's the 75 of Julian Gromit. Dervin Lane drops to 4th. Ben Douglas and Sean Betton in there. Mark Jarrett also well placed. There is Dervin Lane with the black and fluorescent yellow riding gear. And the red machine of Ben Douglas, red and grey colours on the outside, trying to get past Lane, who guards the inside line. Douglas tries to break through on the exit, but Dervin Lane guards that inside line and holds on to the 4th position. Mostica pulling away at the front. Oh, Lane got a little bit squirrely through that left-hander. Oh, and down goes the 71 of Ben Douglas. A big wipeout there. I think he went down there. Oh, no, it wasn't him actually. Somebody else did go down there earlier on this afternoon. Nasty tumble there for Douglas, but it looks like he's okay. Waved yellows on that part of the track. The race goes on. But Ben Douglas battling with Dervin Lane for 4th place. Dropping all the way down the field. You just saw him out of shot there picking the bike up. He is okay. Douglas is okay, but the bike looks like, I think he is at the race. The waved yellows, which we'll see in a moment. Here we see number 75, Julian Gromit, with Gavin Tappenden just behind. They go past the waved yellow flags and the stricken Ben Douglas, but the rider is okay and left the bike on the outside of the track. Appears to be walking away. The rest of the race goes on. 9 laps to go, with James Mostica still leading the race. Fastest lap with a 45.446. Just before that crash, incidentally. So Mostica leads the race by 3.9 seconds. Gromit in 2nd place, Tappenden 3rd, Dervin Lane 4th. And moving up to 5th place now is Sean Betton from Robin Kyle, Mark Jarrett. Stu Bateson in 8th place, 9th for Tony Reveley. And 10th now is the 68 of William Horner. Gav Tappenden trying to get through past Julian Gromit. And there is a stationary yellow just through here because Ben Douglas, the bike is still on the outside of the track. He seems okay. Mostica still leads. Julian Gromit in 2nd place. Gav Tappenden 3rd. And there we see the battle for 4th place. Dervin Lane in 4th, Sean Betton and Robin Kyle in 6th. There we go, the 189 of Dervin Lane leading that little group through. Robin Kyle 6th, Mark Jarrett, Stu Bateson, Tony Reveley and William Horner rounding up the top 10. Mick Price 11th position, Stan Gill in 12th, Ben Douglas, as you saw earlier, out of the race. So it's quite a heavy tumble, but he has walked away. But let's see what Dervin Lane can do now. He's holding on to that 4th position. Sean Betton and Robin Kyle battling away just a bit further behind. There we see the 837 of Sean Betton down the back straight in towards the final corner. Trying to get past Sean Betton, Dervin Lane to really get away through at the moment. James Mostica still your leader, and there is Ben Douglas. Rider okay, but cutting a frustrated figure as a spectator at the moment. Here's the race leader, 27, James Mostica. Got a good jump on the field at the start and has pulled away as the race goes on. stationary yellow flag there. The riders just cautioning, of course, they go past the stricken bike of Ben Douglas. Still, this battle goes on with Gav Tappert and Dervin Lane and Sean Betton. Betton trying to get through. And the 199 of Robin Kyle in there as well. Mark Jarrett and Stu Bates a bit further behind. 6 laps to go in this one. James Mostiger still leads the way. Here is the machine of Mark Jarrett. Stu Bates at 5:01 just behind. Mark Jarrett with those Pepsi Cola type decals. I think that's a hint towards Kevin Schwantz back in the 80s there. Always sponsored in his early career, at least, by Pepsi when he came over to do the old 500 Grand Prix, and he's been inspiration on that bike, at least anyway. And he holds off the 5:01 of Stu Bateson through the Essex corners. 27 Mark Jarrett, 2:71 on the transponder screens. Still James Mostiger that leads from Julian Gromit, Gav Tappert in third. The battle still on for fourth with Dervin Lane, Sean Betton and Robin Kyle all very close. 5 laps to go as they make their way through the first of the chicanes, around the back of the circuit towards the second chicane. Still 189. Dervin Lane in fourth place, Sean Betton and Robin Kyle all very close. Gav Tappert has pulled away and is on his own in third place. This is the battle of a third. Fourth, I should say. 199 of Robin Kyle still in sixth place. There's Dervin Lane, 189 in fourth, sandwiched by Sean Betton. Moving towards the final corner now. There's a lane. Just saw Gav Tappert riding out of shot on his own in third place. Kyle having a look down the inside of Sean Betton, but can't find a way through. 4 laps to go. James Mostiger has led the entire race, pulled away at the front very early on in this one. As again, Kyle having a look down the inside of Betton. This is allowing a lane to pull away slightly, only by a few tenths, however. Up to the top corner they go, the 189. Dervin Lane still in fourth place. 837 Sean Betton trying to look down the inside, as does Kyle, but they hold their positions in fourth, fifth and sixth place. Picked by Bet's race number 2. James Mostiger still leading the way. The gap is now 6.3 seconds as Julian Gromit goes through in second place on the 75. Now, I've just been told, try and pick this up, that Dervin Lane's gone into the pits. Well, he's not sure. You can see him dropping down the lap charts there. He's down to 8th place now, so just been told that Dervin Lane has pulled into the pits. So, yeah, I've just seen him myself actually riding slowly back towards the paddock. No, that's a bit of drama there. He was running well in that race, so I don't know if he's had some sort of mechanical issue maybe, but as you can see for yourself, Dervin Lane has dropped down to 10th place. That means that the rider in shot now, the number 837 of Sean Betton, is in 4th place. Robin Kyle in 5th. None of this, of course, bothering the leaders. Mostiger lead. Oh, as Kyle has a look around the outside of Sean Betton. So yes, indeed, Dervin Lane dropping out of contention in these closing stages. The battle now on for 4th between the 837 of Sean Betton and Robin Kyle on the 199. James Mostiger still leads the way. Julian Gromit 2nd and Gav Tappert in 3rd. Those 3 all on their own. And the battle now still very much on for 4th as Robin Kyle has a look down the inside. Oh, nice little move there. Robin Kyle moves into 4th place, gets past Sean Betton. Really had to be committed down the inside to make that pass stick. 1 lap to go as James Mostiger on the number 27 really in control of this race. Been 1 or 2 problems further down the field, but he's led pretty much from the drop of the flag and just looking to try and bring it home. There he is, number 27. 8 seconds the gap last time round, and he's got this race firmly under control at the moment. Down the back straight he goes for the final time. Just a case of staying out of trouble around the final hairpin. Takes a nice sweeping line, and it's been a fantastic race for him. 27, James Mostiger will take the checkered flag. In the end, a relatively straightforward victory for it, but he had to work hard for that one. It's going to be Julian Gromit, the 75, in 2nd place. There goes Gav Tappenden in third place. Number 7 of Mick Price running at the top 10. There's a lap down, there's Tappenden third, and Robin Kyle holds on to that fourth place from Sean Benton in that thrilling battle for fourth place. Very, very closely fought indeed. So pit bike bets drawing to a close. Congratulations to James Mostiker. There he is, number 27. Fantastic race. Led the race, you would say, from start to finish, and very well deserved indeed.